Oh my goodness. Is it possible that Kurogiri, the mysterious mist manipulator, is actually Oboro Shirakumo from My Hero Academia Vigilantes? What's up, it's Truth Hero, and I didn't know I'd be making a video today. Then I was tagged on Twitter. Then I saw Vocal Pineapple released a video on how Kurogiri could be Shirakumo, and I wasn't about to let him take all the views. No, I'm kidding, of course. Shoutouts to Vocal Pineapple, he's doing big things on YouTube. But as a resident My Hero Academia YouTuber, and someone that's actually covered the Vigilantes, and specifically Shirakumo on this channel, I felt obligated to cover this theory, and just get my philosophies off my chest. So let's dive into how Oboro Shirakumo from My Hero Academia Vigilantes could actually be the villain Kurogiri. And as the title suggests, yes, this will contain spoilers for the next chapter of My Hero Academia. So if you don't want anything spoiled, please click away. You have been warned, and let's get into it. Now, of course, I'll be diving into this theory more in depth tomorrow when we have the chapter and the proper translations, but for now, let's just summarize what happened in this chapter that led us to this theory initially. Ida greets everyone and says Happy New Year, and the students are meeting to discuss their progress from winter break and the internships. Okay, I don't care. All this maybe tells me is that the internships are over, winter break has ended, and that perhaps Class 1A is now second years officially, which actually helps me on an upcoming theory video that I'm working on, but great, let's get to the real stuff. The important part here is when Aizawa Sensei and Present Mic are in a car headed to Tartarus. Aizawa is clearly annoyed, and Present Mic says, calm down, it's okay. Then he says, his behavior at the USJ was not at all... Tsukauchi, the police guy, and Gran Torino greet them there, and they are then led to where Kurogiri is being restrained. Gran Torino tells them he'll talk about stupid stuff, but when it comes to any bad information about the League of Villains, he'll remain absolutely silent. So Kurogiri is loyal. That's cool. But then he says, it took us a while to figure out since it was so well done, but there's been additional quirk bases added, and it's an entirely new quirk now. But Kurogiri's base quirk, the original one, is something very close to a man who shared your joys and sorrows at UA and lost his life. Oboro Shirakumo. Not only does Kurogiri have multiple quirks fused into one, confirming that quirk fusion can actually be done in the My Hero Academia universe, big news, but also the original quirk he started out with is exactly like Oboro Shirakumo's Loud Cloud. Fam, put your swim trunks on. We gotta dive into this one. First off, Tsukauchi, the police guy, there were many theories floating around that he was actually Kurogiri, and to all those people I just want to say, how do you feel now? I mean, what was your evidence? That he wore a suit and tie? So did All Might. Right now, Professor Aizawa and Present Mic are en route to Tartarus, and Tsukauchi is going to welcome them there. It's physically impossible for Kurogiri to be in his cell and Tsukauchi welcoming them. He can't be in two places at the same time. Well, actually, that's exactly what Kurogiri's quirk does. But you know what I'm saying. The police officers are soon going to appear before Kurogiri, and that would be a trippy quirk for Kurogiri to be in a chair and projecting this policeman out? Guys, it's not him. Before we dive into this any further, let's understand who Oboro Shirakumo is. In My Hero Academia Vigilantes, which you should all be reading, Oboro Shirakumo is a second year at UA along with Aizawa and Present Mic. He has the quirk Loud Cloud, which allows him to control a cloud, use smoke screens and mist diversions, as well as fly and float on the cloud like the Monkey King. If you want all his backstory and how he relates to the story of My Hero Academia, check this video out here, I'll leave it in a card. In the story, Shirakumo dies during an internship when he and Aizawa along with other classmates are out patrolling. When a villain appears and starts wrecking the town, Shirakumo saves children, but is hit in the head by falling debris. It's then up to Aizawa alone in a coming-of-age moment to vanquish the villain. After this fight, it's a real sad moment for Aizawa, Present Mic, and Midnight, who was also a student at the time. But it's important to note that Shirakumo did die, and he's first mentioned in My Hero Academia canon in flashbacks regarding Shinso, Aizawa's successor. More on this in a bit. Kurogiri's quirk is the same. Instead of controlling a white puffy cloud, he controls black mist. What if All For One, or specifically Dr. Ujiko, simply took Oboro Shirakumo's Loud Cloud, fused it with Kurogiri's Warp Gate, and then gave it a black-purple appearance for villainy? Also, the fact that Kurogiri had additional quirk bases added to it opens up a world of theories. I'm not just talking about multiple quirks like a Nomu, no. Kurogiri had an original quirk similar to Shirakumo's, or the same quirk, and had quirks fused together with it. I know we should wait for the official translations, but QUIRK Fusion is confirmed in My Hero Academia canon. Thank you, you heard it here first. No, but seriously, imagine how this impacts the story. Remember that Shigaraki's getting that new power in 4 months, and then he's undergoing that procedure. It's not that he's just crumbling things, and that he gets all for one quirk. No. He will now have the ability to gain quirks from things he's crumbling. This changes everything. Now, I said that the League of Villains confused Kurogiri's Warp Gate quirk with Shirakumo's Loud Cloud, and it's certainly possible. I mean, Dr. Ujiko is a man of many talents. However, I want you to listen carefully to what Gran Torino specifically said. He says the base quirk, meaning the original quirk Kurogiri had, that's the one that's similar to Shirakumo's. So they took this cloudy quirk that Kurogiri originally had, and then they must have added a Warp Gate quirk and a Black Mist effect to make him the villain Kurogiri. This means that if this original cloudy quirk was in fact Loud Cloud, then Kurogiri is Shirakumo. You also have Present Mic commenting on Kurogiri in the car as they ride to Tartarus. He says his behavior at the USJ was not at all, and then he trails off. Maybe he's saying that Kurogiri didn't really act like a villain would, or that he acted suspicious being at UA. It's very possible that Kurogiri being at UA again and seeing all these students, it brought back memories for him, who's actually a villainous Shirakumo. To be completely fair to both sides here, Present Mic might be saying his behavior at the USJ was not at all like Shirakumo's mannerisms. In an effort to get Aizawa to calm down about their classmate, he might be saying, look, it's fine, calm down. Shirakumo's story ended a long time ago. He died as a hero. That's it. Nothing more. Do I believe that Shirakumo is in fact Kurogiri, even though it's in the title of this video? Well, that depends on if Kurogiri's quirk, his original one, is in fact Loud Cloud. So let's first go with no. Kurogiri is not Shirakumo, they just had a similar quirk. Personally, I find it very hard to believe that Shirakumo would 1. Fake his own death, or 2. If he didn't, and he was injured, that he wouldn't come back to society in some type of way. He is not the traitor type, and maybe you could ascribe that motive to him, but I don't see it. I've read Vigilantes, and Shirakumo is like, he's kind of like the Mirio Togata of the past. If it's not his quirk and Kurogiri just had a similar cloud quirk, this makes perfect sense. Kurogiri had some mist quirk, and then the League of Villains fused Warp Gate and some black mist quirk, and possibly even Shirakumo's Loud Cloud with his quirk. It's very possible the League of Villains have access to all these quirks of dead professional heroes or even students. They might control the morgues in the My Hero Academia universe. So that's very possible. I think given the characters and their backgrounds, it's very unlikely that Kurogiri is Shirakumo if he had a different quirk originally. However, if Kurogiri does in fact have the original quirk Loud Cloud, then he is without a doubt Shirakumo. I don't really see a way around this since Gran Torino said the cloudy quirk he has was his original one, meaning from birth. I mean, what did the League of Villains do? Find some dude named Kurogiri without a quirk, then give him Shirakumo's Loud Cloud, let it marinate for a few years, and then give him a Warp Gate and a Black Mist to make the effect? It doesn't make any sense. The villains don't really care about people without quirks. They're not charitable like All Might. Also, it doesn't need to be a case where Shirakumo turned evil. He could be dead. Kurogiri's body is pretty much a shell. And what if Shirakumo is this shell of a person in this Nomu-esque Kurogiri entity? He literally is a shell. He just has that metal protector, and Kurogiri's eyes kind of look like a Nomu. He kind of looks like High-End, so it's entirely possible that the League of Villains, or All for One and his villain group before that, and their influence have access to morgues, and they salvaged the body of a former UA student who died on the job, and gave him other quirks and sentience, and made him into the villain Kurogiri. And oh my goodness, that is a scary thought. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Is Kurogiri actually Shirakumo? And if not, was Shirakumo's Loud Cloud quirk used in the production and manufacture of the villain Kurogiri? And how does Shirakumo from My Hero Academia Vigilantes now tie into the story of My Hero Academia canon. If you guys like My Hero Academia content and these theory videos, consider enrolling at UA today by subscribing. Thanks for watching, and until next time, plus ultra.
Hero